literally not sure what happened there. However, we are back. We've somehow made it for the final lap of the race. Stewart and Billy are still duelling it out. Stewart's somehow just losing out there, unfortunately. He's got DRS though to fight this one back. Stav has got the best seat in the house for all of this, and he almost comes one lap too short for Stav to really get involved in the fight at the front. He's made his way up to them and closed in on them slowly but surely. And as we head into the final couple of corners on this lap, Hammer's made a position past Dunn in the battle for P15 and P16. Billy, though, a couple corners left to negotiate, and he will be taking a sprint race win here. He will be taking, not pole position, because I think you get pole in the quali. But anyway, he'll be taking that front spot on the grid for the main race. Billy rounds the final corner. And after it's a hard-fought win, it must be said for Billy. Stav's so close to P2 as across the line, 19 thousandths in it. And the top three separated by 0.4 of a second. Great drives from all three of them. Axel Rust takes fourth, Rancy is fifth, Quistro sixth, Riker seventh, Patrick is eighth. Fortunately, after that spin, it's a good recovery, and he takes the final points positions in this one. Bogrofsky is 10th. Fox results 11th. Unfortunately, another driver involved in an incident. He was hit, but it looked like it could have been Billy. Potentially, that's what we saw from our camera angle. Of course, we don't get replays. It must be said. Little Mikey is 12th, Nigel Perrin losing out after a good start. Stewart, Alfa Romeo Stewart is 14th, Hammers 15th, Dunn 16th, Tom Buddy 17th. The only retiree is because of being beached. Something I have not seen in the flesh. But I will say, apologies from my end, Billy takes the race lead, but the game just crashed. So I'm not sure what happened. Axel Rich is your driver of the day for most positions gained. But yeah, apologies. I've got the old warning, warning screen. There you can see the points that are dished out for the sprint race. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Billy takes maximum points. But will that be decided in the steward's room? Of course, he will take pole position because of the format we are running. He'll have the big advantage in the upcoming race. We've got 36 laps to dive into around this Red Bull Ring circuit. And who is favourite for this one? Patriots with massive speed in qualifying, taking pole by almost 0.3 of a second. Surely we've got to be favourite in one race ahead. We spoke about Stav's good race pace. He was a race winner in D2 around this circuit last season, so got to be one of the favourites after such a strong sprint race. And well, if it was a couple of laps longer, I think he may have been favourite to take the checkered flag first. But as we wait patiently, and the drivers will now select their respective setups ahead of... Oh no, I'm in a car. Oh, because I left and then joined, and I joined a bit quickly and I didn't set... Oh, this has not gone well. Can I at least put a setup on? I mean, I just want a safe one so I can drive. I don't play on a controller, so... this will be interesting. I have to try and negotiate this one as best as I can. I don't play on the controller, so I'm going to really struggle on this lap, but we'll try our best to stay out of everybody's way. I just joined the lobby really, really quickly, so I didn't think to put it into spectator mode before I did. Can I retire? I can't. It's even better. Oh, I've jumped the gun. I'm going to have to do the formation lap. Apologies for this. Blame the game crashing. You guys going a bit slowly. I really hope they don't think I'm going to race, because I don't want to. Some guys haven't got going. Stuart's been disqualified from the formation lap. Hopefully he's there and fully paying attention. My driving is about to get... I can't quit. I can't quit. We're going to try and run on the back. We'll see what it's like from a driver's perspective, let's say. We're following Hammer up towards turn number 3. This is, of course, we've seen a lot of action up at turn 3.
No rain expected.
So easy. Well, we get our own engineer to tell us what's going on. But no rain expected in the race we hit. This is really doesn't look good, does it? People that were just tuning in, watching to see the race start, I'm going to have to sort of, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I want to retire. I don't want to cause a safety car either. I don't really want to do lap 1 though. It's my only concern. I might have to quickly smash it in to sort of retire. Yeah, in my haste to rejoin the lobby, I may have not set myself as a spectator, which is a bit unfortunate. But we'll negotiate this one. We'll negotiate it. We've done it before. We can do it again. I've done this before, so I'm really not sure what happened. I got a massive error on the screen. We completely missed the strategy of what's going on in this race. No one's behind me on the grid, so I should be able to do as I please. I'm not bothered about slotting up on the grid, so let's see what I can do though. Can we get it purple? No, I got it green. Can I quit? No. This game does annoy me sometimes. We will do our absolute best. I can't retire just yet. Who's going to get the best of the starts up at the front? And it looks like massive. Look at the difference in the start we can see ahead of us. Heading up towards turn number 1, though. I think it's going to be the lead for It's Billy, followed by the Ferrari of Stewart. Stewart's gone really, really wide, though. Coming out of turn number 1, Axo Ritz is really battling him up the hill. Someone's off as Aston Martin. Foxbury dropping down the order further and further. Not a good start for them this evening. Billy has lost the race lead from Stewart. Stewart taking to, oh no, sorry, that's ahead of his teammate. What a start for the Williams. Stab has lost the place, but he's dueling away now with Quistro as they climb. A drop down towards turn number 4. He's on the hard compound of tyres. Who's opted for the softs? I can't quite see. Quistro, though, on the inside. He's just going to keep ahead as they come out of turn number 4. And Ranty behind, watching and enjoying that battle. I think it is fair to say. Who are the biggest winners and losers in this session so far? Look at that. I've done up 8 places. Look at the absolute melee at the start. People not getting their tyres in the right temperature window. Potentially on that formation lap. See what tyres people are on. It's mediums for basically everybody. Billy's gone for the hards. That's a really bold call from him. He sets the fastest lap of the race. He leads the way. Dunn putting pressure on Ranty. We're on board with him now as he puts on the brakes, goes up the inside. That's a great move. If he can get it done and dusted, he can. So good work from him. But Billy, it's gone perfectly for him on those hard compound of tyres. Absolutely loving life. He is. Perrin, I think, losing a position there to Ranty. Ranty trying to hold on around the outside. He looks like he's got a better exit. And he may just hold on for the time being. The two Alpha Tauris are dueling away. Dunn trying to get ahead of Stav. Stav not having the best of starts, losing 2 positions after that opening lap. And Perrin getting down the inside of Ranty, and he moves himself up in a P7. So my sort of 2 I picked out as the sort of racers in this one. Yellow flag in sector 2. That's a Mercedes of Riker facing the wrong way. And Patriots, what's happened to Patriots at the start? He started P8, of course. Maybe he got involved in that big incident. Of course, we didn't quite see it. But he's down to P16. Is the McLaren driver. Of course, he was on pole by almost 0.3 of a second. Billy goes another fast out of the race. He is loving those hard compound tyres out front as he throws the car into turn number 1. Stewart's pushing further back. I didn't mean to switch back to him. I didn't mean to switch to him either. But we're on trying to watch a bit of Billy on board. This boy in the soft tyres. So it's fast lap of the DRS is enabled. Page's putting the hammer down now in P16. I wouldn't rule him out of this one. With so many laps left, I would not rule him out. Williams loving life at the moment. Tom Putty losing the place to SMBRT. Stewart and Bog having a good battle, and that's down the inside from Stewart. Can he hold on? Bog's still there. Bog's just behind. But the difficulty of this circuit is you've got 3 decent DRS straights, one after the other. So Billy, as long as Stewart and co are within that second, they're going to get a lovely helping hand of DRS, and you can see everybody from second all the way down to P8 is within DRS range. And that is crucial around this circuit, you know, because the guys behind can save ERS and keep up. Axel Ritz sets the fastest lap of the race on 8.2. Interesting to see, and pushing Billy off the circuit almost. He's Stewart. Stewart's going to have the run now. I think Stewart might make an easy move, but of course he did. To kind of force his way through. Stewart, though, looking to go down the inside on that softer compound off tyre. Stewart's going to have the inside. Stewart makes his way through. I mean, that's very premature to retire in the pit lane. It must be said on lap 4, Tom Putty has retired in the pit lane. Nothing will be, his race will go no further. Bit of contact between the two Williams drivers. And after they become laps, the top 8 has sort of settled down. Ranks are just dropping outside of DRS range. At the moment, Fox Blue sets the fast lap of the race. Big time from him there. Before of him, he is P17 and does need a bit of a safety car. What are Stewart and Mikey doing? They're wheel to wheel. Of the pair of them, who's going to come out on top? Stewart doesn't want to back out his drag around the outside if he can. Mikey, fair play to him, gives him the room. And they're still fighting on this one. Mikey, the door might just get shut on him, and he will have to slot into P10 for the time being. That's a switch back and a half. What a move from Mikey if you make this stick. Who's going to appear on top? Fortunately, it's Stewart for our sake. A fantastic overtake from Mikey. A bit of a switchback through turn 9. Quistro putting pressure on Axel Ritz. Before he gets 5 seconds speeding into pit lane. Billy was looking for a move there. She's not running away with it, as really closed up to the back of the house there. Yep, Stewart not running away with it. I think like he'd want to, you know, hoping those mediums would allow him to kind of run away from Billy. But nothing at the moment. Look at that, got the gaps at the moment. Oh, you can see all the cars. In such a bit of a train. Then there's a bit of a gap to McLaren. He's sat in a bit of no man's land. At the moment, a second half in front, 2 seconds behind. Bit of braking of the toe up in front. Quistro seems to be on the attack the most compared to everybody around him. He's pushing Axel Ritz for all he's worth. Has he got the run? He's using overtake mode. He wants the move. He wants the position. He wants to get onto those podium places if he can. Bit of a snap there for the Williams in front, but nothing too crazy at the moment. Hammers into the pit lane in P13. Wonder what tyres he'll put on. A set of mediums. How far can they hit them? How far can he take them into this race? Better exit for Quistro. That gap's still 2.5 tenths though. No moves as of yet, and it's just come up, so I've got a comment on it. I love a heli shot. They do make the game look so good, in my opinion. Just closes up on the first part. There's no way through these next couple of corners, but can he get the run? He's tucked underneath that rear wing of the Williams. Just you can't stick it down the inside into turn 9 as much as anyone would love to. Stav is close to his teammate as well. Could we see team orders down at AlphaTauri? No is the answer to that. Trying to get temperature into his tyres. Oh no. Was I wrong? I was completely wrong. I take that back. Stav allowed through by his teammate. Moves up in a P5. Does Stav's a good teamwork there from AlphaTauri. But has that allowed Nathaniel Perrin to go for the move? Oh, he tried to go down the inside. It was worked out. There wasn't room. And then tried to dummy it to the outside, but just clipped the back of Dunn there when he did that. Lost a bit of ground, but nothing major. Hammer is in the pits again. He's got 5 seconds. I'd love to know why. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't retire. So one thing I have noticed as well is unfortunately Rancy is just slowly losing a drift from this front group, and I think that's just a case of not having DRS. It's allowing Stewart to close in behind. It's giving Stewart something to chase. Mikey tantalisingly close to that DRS and using a bit of overtake just to make sure he stays within it. And that gap just drops under a second for a moment then, as long as he can keep the commitment through these final couple of corners, and he should get DRS to help him along his way. There it is. But the tyre strategy is so interesting in this race. Billy on those hard compounds, and he's keeping pace. At the moment he's getting DRS, he's getting pulled along handsomely. as we're almost at a quarter race distance come the end of the next lap. Billy has got to be in a prime position at the moment. Look at that 75% ERS available for him to use. You know, he's doing an absolutely fantastic, you know, it's a management race for him at this point. And Nathaniel Perrin and Stewart swapping places, I think. Don't know what's going on there. He wouldn't swap places with anyone. Oh, Stewart's got past round 2, sorry. Ramsey dropping back a little bit more. Further up the road, we're looking at this front battle between the top 7 at the moment. You could say any of them could win, but I'm liking Billy on this alternate strategy. At the moment, the only person who started on the hard still to be on them. The others have unfortunately found trouble. But Billy, he knows the cars are behind him. Will Axel want to move? Axel's going for the move. Down the inside, Billy has to go defensive. As Bog gets past Mike, I think Mike's had a bit of a spin. Axel, though, he went on the attack. He's now on the defence. Because here comes Quistro. Oh, not quite. Quistro didn't get a bit of traction. I think he would have wanted to. And Stav, can he go round the outside of Quish? Oh no, Stav and Dunn are dueling away again. Dunn has let him through and he's decided not anymore. And goes past his teammates, and the team orders have been reversed, it seems. Down at Alpha Tauri. It's a good run from Quistro. Out of turn 8 though. You get anywhere near the Williams up the road. What's happened to Stewart? Stewart's in the gravel. Careful you don't beach it, son. That's a nice little flick spin to get around the right way. Mikey will get past, and maybe Patrick's as well. But no safety cars or VSCs needed. Perrin, well, he's in. Unfortunately for him, he's staring at 6 cars in front of him. 5 of them have got DRS, and there's not a lot he can do apart from just kind of wait and be patient. Rancy, you've got Boyer lap down. Unfortunately, there are possibilities in this race, so he needs to keep at it. Look at the mini-map, that front 7 just so condensed. At the moment, Perrin runs onto the curb. That won't give him the traction he wants as he looks to try and make a move. You know, make some progress in this little train. Look on the steering wheels, all of them have got enough to fight with in terms of ERS, and even Stewart up front is just bearing in mind that he needs to do a bit of conserving. And I went the wrong way. Billy in P2. Breakage of toe there from Stewart, maybe dummying for a bit of dummying for the pit lane. Who's going to pull the trigger? And there's another car facing the wrong way. I can't work over. Here's his boy. Those hard tyres not helping him at all. But avoids. Boy, you can't retire on track. That's going to be a big slap on the wrist because I've caught you doing it as well. I'm quite good at catching people when they do that. Hopefully it doesn't cause a safety car or any chaos too much. What's happened up at the front? Billy's gone for the move down the inside. Billy taking the lead on these hard tyres. Has the delta switched between the hards and the mediums. Billy takes the lead of this Grand Prix and moves himself up onto the front spot once again. That Red Bull is just parked on just for the entry of turn 10. But Billy now leads the way. He didn't dictate the pace out front. The Red Bull has disappeared, fortunately for us. Stewart, well, he's still in a very good place in this race, and well, he'll now be getting a bit of DRS helpage. And can he come straight back at Billy in the Ferrari? Well, I think Dunn's got past Quistro as well, or he's been watching what's been going on elsewhere. Up and down the field. Patriots looking to make a move on Mikey. I've called it before it's happened. It's an unorthodox place to make a move, but he's made it stick. And we climb up the hill. We're looking for the Ferrari in the background. The Ferrari, will he go out late on the brakes? He won't. He plays it sensible. Does anybody? Somehow Billy's held that. It's a great hold from Billy, and well, we've already seen it end. Already seen it be an absolute catastrophe this evening. Up at turn 3. Can Stav though hold on to P6? He's got the inside. You'd say he's the favourite to do it. And he just is going to squeeze his rival. He leaves him room. Can't fault Stav here. He's left him room. He's now got the insiders. Perrin makes a good move. They're still wheel to wheel. Stav around that side, he's got his nose ahead, but it's the inside. And Stav hangs that one round the outside. Great racing between the pair of them. And significantly, for their sakes, if I can get the words out, they're still within DRS range of the cars in front. But we start lap number 12. We're at a third race distance. Start lap number 13. We're over a third race distance now. So this is exciting, very exciting. I got distracted by a message, I will apologise. But a good message, so that makes it better, potentially, I don't know. Anyway, Stewart in P2. It just seems a case as no one really wants to lead. Whoever is leading isn't really pushing that much. But Billy has taken to the front. Further back, Stewart goes down the inside of Mikey. We've just seen the end of that move, and well, it seems to be a bit of a send as Mikey's absolutely destroying that gearbox by the sounds of it. Last week's race winner not having the best time of things is done. Gets a 3-second time penalty. The top 7 now. Well, 5 seconds clear. You can see on the minimap. That's 7. Oh, what's happened to Quistro? What's happened to Quistro? He's coming into the pit lane. He pulls the trigger on the pit stops. I think Stav may be out of DRS range from his teammate. He is. That could be significant for the race. The top 7 is now a top 4. As Quistro comes into box, we're going to watch what he does. And what tires is he putting on? He's going for the hard. He's going to the end of the race now. Will he be quicker than it's Billy? That's done putting pressure on the car in front. We are actually going to do something a little bit rogue here and go to gap to leader. I want to see, as Quistro's not made it out ahead of Riker. He's right behind both Mercedes. We'll try and follow this one, but I think it could be quite interesting. Having to go defensive is Riker. This is not what Quistro wanted. He would have been wanting to get out ahead of the Mercedes if he could, and he's been squeezed on the exit. It's going to compromise him. Riker's got DRS. Quistro has lost out big time on this, in my opinion. Foxman's been getting rid of those softs. He puts on hards to go to the end of the Grand Prix. What do the guys up at the front do? Does anybody respond? Nobody responds to Quistro. They may have been able to see, if they've got the full mini-map up, that he's just being held up by the two Mercedes. Stav's in though. Stav's responding. Stav had a good in lap. He just about avoids getting any penalties as such. But he got a really good exit out of turn 1, gained about a 10.5 there. Stav, of course, going hard to the end. Where does he filter out, though? I think into the pit lane comes Riker. That releases Quistro. Can Stav get out ahead of the Mercedes? Can he get out ahead of Quistro? He has. So that is not that. He's been held there for a lap. That's Quistro. Been held up, unfortunately, as he now flicks to the outside. He's actually be pushing against Stav here. Stav, of course, coming out of the pit lane entry, doesn't have the same sort of speed. Will Quistro go down from the inside? That's an absolute send. Can he get the car slowed down? What a move from Quistro! I don't know how he did it. Stav, though, has been well. He's been caught napping, it's fair to say. Of course, cold tyres. Patriot's going to the inside of Bog. A corner up the road. And up at the front, well, will these guys decide to react? Stewart says out. Axel stays out. Dunn stays out. Perrin is into the pit lane, though. He fancies those hard tyres, and well, that's a sign that the mediums are going off, unfortunately, for his sake. Where will he filter out in the battle? So yeah, I think maybe what we just saw there was Stav didn't have a confidence on those hard tyres just coming out of the pit lane. So at least what it meant was. Quistro had that confidence on the braking. Quistro then says fast up the race, so he's the man on the charge, and this sort of undercut strategy could be working. The gap was 23 seconds. He's closed 2 seconds to Billy over the last lap and a half. Really putting the hammer down compared to the guys in front. It could be undercutting quite a few people here, though. Stav's keeping touch with him, though, and is within DRS range. That could be crucial in this race, as Stav brought himself into play right up at the front as well. We got 21.1 between Quistro and it's Billy. Is Stewart coming in? Is Axel coming in? No, and Dunn behind stays out as well. They're happy in this train. They're happy to extend though. Oh, big clunk of the curb. Will that give Dunn the incentive? Not particularly. In P4. The two McLarens are now 5th and 6th. They'd love the race to end this way, and just well. Ranty having a really strong race. Who is that facing the wrong way? It's Mikey. Gets the car swung round. Unfortunately for him, and look who's into the pit lane. Both McLarens and Bog. It's hard tyres. They've double stacked a McLaren. No. Didn't get held for too long. It's going to cost him a bit of time. Up at the front. Quistro's closed the gap by another second. I think Quistro will take the race lead here. Quistro and Stav have, well, they've undercutted, and I think it's going to work an absolute treat. Of course, the medium's going to do 16 laps. We're not far off half race distance here. I don't really know why the guys are staying out. They should have reacted. They've lost out in track position. Stewart's taken a bit of an unorthodox line. And could we see anyone into the pit lane this time around at the end of lap 17? Stewart's going to make the call. Is he? I mean, he's cut the line, so I don't want to be the one to bring it up, but that should really be a penalty. But nevertheless, Stewart and Dunn both in the pit lane, keeping it under the speed limit. So Rich stays out. Maybe he's trying the overcut here. Where they come out in relation to Quistro will be fascinating in this race, because Quistro, oh, yellow flag, and Hammer's facing the wrong up at turn 2. It's where the race leaders are just about to go to. Of course, Quistro's pitted that much earlier, and there are those two guys. Quistro, I think, will have the speed, and he will get ahead. Has he got DRS to play with? He doesn't. It's now a drag race up the hill. I don't know how the Ferrari's got DRS. Where the detection? He can't have DRS, surely. Stewart, though, Stav and Dunn have swapped places. Stav locks up, double lock up, I think, there from the Alpha to Harry. What that undercutting has done is brought these guys into play massively. Quistro and Stav were a little bit adrift. Look to the inside now, got a double takes him. Going out the inside of the Ferrari. Can Quistro take P3 in this race on track? He can. And Stewart now drops down to P4. Of course, those tyres a little bit cold, I think, than how he would want them to be. But how much time Quistro's gained on the race leaders, it's been imperative. If he didn't get held up by the two Mercedes, you know, I think he would have been comfortably leading this race. Axel, though, into the pit lane in that Williams. I imagine he'll be putting on the hard compounded tyres. That's the... oh, it's a better camera, I'm going to see. And he does put them on. He stops nicely in his box. And he's away. He was hoping for a good stop. Where will he filter out Quistro, that sort of ultimate undercut strategy? We can't even see the Williams, because there he is, losing out massively by extending the stint in terms of track position. Dunn, though, has got the run on him. Dunn's going to go around the outside. I think Dunn might be ahead by the time they hit the brakes, and he is. And once again, we line up in a train from 2nd all the way down to 7th. But it's a train that is very much shaken up and in a much different order than it was about 5 minutes ago. I keep pressing the button too many times. Perrin was looking for a move, I think, there on Axel Ritz, but no way through for him. Ranty and SMB both pitted as well to get the interval back up. Stewart will be wanting past Quistro. Quistro has kind of missed the memo. Excuse me, a memo about saving ERS, down at 17% at the moment. Of course, has a penalty to spin for Stewart. Alfa Romeo Stewart, not Ferrari Stewart. And he drops a couple places. That's not a place you tend to see people spinning very often at this circuit. It's normally turn 1, turn 3. Maybe people just running a little bit wide and getting out onto that gravel. That is on the exit of turn 6. See how close the guys are. You look in front of you, there's cars. You look behind you, there's cars. Has the Ferrari got the run, though? He's not going. See, this is, I mean, in my opinion, this is a clever strategy to play at this circuit. He knows, he's seen that rain light flashing on his rival's car. I'll let you for a secret, it's not raining. As Bob gets ahead of Mikey, that's an easy move with DRS, gets the car slowed down, and he's up in a P12. What's happened? Stewart's facing the wrong way. No, we had Alfa Romeo Stewart spin on the previous lap. It's Ferrari Stewart this time around. Oh, and I was saying how he was running such a clever race, and on hot tyres, he spun it again, gets off the racing line, pretty nippy, into the... oh, I'm gutted for Stewart. He was running such a clever race. needs to be careful now under traction. Oh, I'm gutted for him because he was in such a good fight up at the front and in such a good position to clench, you know, to be right up at the win. Stav and Dunn swapping places, nothing major going on there. I think it will be. What is he? I don't know why he does that. He did that earlier and then gave position to Stav. I'm not sure what the weaving's for. Are you really lacking that much temperature? The Stewart. Where's the McLaren? I don't know. He looks like he gained a... He's a tenth behind the McLaren, apparently. No, he's 4 seconds. I'm reading the screen. I don't know what's going on. I'm reading the screen wrong. Ramsey, Patrick and SMB still separate, not separated by a lot at all. Wow, the battle's been... That front group has been diluted a little bit. They are gaining on Billy at a fair whack if we get the lap data up. I think lap data. There it is. We'll see how Billy's getting on. Follow Billy for a bit unless something comes up. Of course, since the first round of pit stops where most people... How is Mikey taking those mediums 20 laps? Surely he's hoping for a safety car or something similar, I reckon. But Billy seems pretty happy at the moment. Quistro losing the place to Dunn. Dunn goes down the inside and he moves up on a P2. He's ahead of... That's an effective P1 though, once Billy pits. But you think Billy would have the pace on the softer compound that he's going to put on. And well, Billy's going to have an almighty charge. And I'm looking forward to it. So Billy is currently doing a 1 minute 9.4. Dunn just behind that. Of course, he's made up a position on this lap. We've got to take that into consideration. But Dunn, we've got a 1 minute 9.4 and 1 minute 7.7. It's 1.5 seconds. Ferrari Stewart isn't the one spinning this time around. It's Aston Martin SMB. Gets the car spun. Bit of nifty car control. The Alfa Red Bull flies through the smoke, and Patrix has the fast out of the race on the hard tyres. He's 12 seconds off of that front group. If anyone can do it, our fastest qualifier can. Well, pole sitter, I think it is still called pole sitter this year. Fox Blue and SMB swapping places. Further back. Well, Mike, I'm not sure. Mikey finally getting rid of those medium compound tyres in this race. Quistro still looking in the back of Dunn. There's nothing that separates them at this point in proceedings as they head towards the final couple of corners. He looks to the inside, but he knows there's no way through for him there. Come around the final corner, DRS open, and we've got 12 laps left in this race. Surely it's Billy. What's Billy's strategy here? The gap is coming down at a fair rate. Is Billy saving DRS? Yeah, quite a bit. What is going through Billy's mind? He will come out in P6 in this race as Quistro goes to the move down the inside. He just doesn't really leave any room on the exit. Can Stav get involved? See, I said there was a change of positions, but there isn't, is there? So I'm not sure. Stav looking at the back of his teammate's rear wing. An Alfa Romeo driver has always been behind an Alfa Romeo driver in this race. I am convinced that is a fact. Billy, though, he's losing time hand over fist. He's going to stay out another lap. He's hoping for a safety car, but yet to have one in this race. It's a circuit you'd think that it provides so many overtaking opportunities, so many opportunities to go wheel to wheel, and yet we never have any safety cars around here. I've done quite a few races around here, and there's so many times you don't get a safety car, or even a VSC, just to give the race another element. That is what Billy is hoping for, I think, at this point, and he's actually been unlapped. Billy has been unlapped. He doesn't seem too fussed by that. He opens DRS. He's get a bit of DRS now to play with. But SMB has just unlapped himself, which is interesting in this race. Surely Billy's got to come into the pit lane this time around. He's going to be the fastest car on track, I would imagine, once he makes his pit stop. What will Billy decide to do? The gap now under 10 seconds. Surely it's time to think about a pit stop for our race leader. Nope, he stays up. Is he trying the Alex Albon trick of going basically the whole race on the hard tyres to see how that one works? I'm interested. Very, very interested. Christo just behind. Got a nice healthy gap too done. Let's see how AlphaTauri's flying in unison. Actually, as things stand, Stav would win, in my opinion, as things stand. Because Quisha and Dunn both have time penalties. And, well, that would go down well. My ex-teammate, of course, teammate in D2 last year for me, in the Aston Martin team, and he won here. And we said it earlier, he's a racer, not a qualifier. And look at him right up at the front now, in the effective race-winning position as Stewart makes the move. What's this? Stav's going ahead of Dunn once more. That seemed like a bit of a, here's the place. But we didn't quite see it. We were looking at a move further up between Stewart and Ransu. Stav, though, up into P3 on track. Billy stays out again. But he know he has to pit. I'm not sure. But DRS is open, Stav. Will he just sit behind and wait, or will he go for the move? Patriot picks up a 3-second time penalty, but he is in no man's land at the moment, 10 seconds off the top 6, with a 5-second advantage over Ferrari Stewart. We hit the brakes once more. Stav, what the? They've got to be pulling serious time over Billy, just in the first sector, where some of the lads having DRS. I'm not sure. I tried it last week, I'm going to try it again. If you're watching, let me know who you think is going to win in the comments. I'm interested to see what everyone else thinks. If you're going to put your money somewhere, well, it's going to be in this battle at the moment, because Bog and Stewart are going wheel to wheel. Stewart's got DRS, but he's got no ERS to play with. Neither's Bog. And Stewart, though, looks for the inside. The battle for P11 at the moment. We rise up towards turn number 3. They're wheel to wheel. Bog's hanging this one around the outside. Who's going to DRS on the exit? The Red Bull gets away better, but I think the Alfa Romeo's got DRS. Yes, he has. That's a shocking camera as well to watch the battle. We might just see the Red Bull appear. There it is, at the back of shot, and Stewart moves himself into P11. Bog's in P12. We turn our attention back to the front. The gap now 6.4 seconds. What is Billy trying to do? They can see him now at the top of the hill. Billy, when he comes out of the pits, I mean, what's the game plan? What are we achieving? He's going to be behind Patriots, I think, as well. Stewart gets 3 seconds. That's Ferrari Stewart. Alfa Romeo Stewart doesn't have any time penalties. Yeah, I'm a little bit lost on what the plan is for Billy. I said at the start of the race I was liking his alternate strategy. He was really making it work with the pace, but needed to put the mediums on a lot early and kind of take advantage of them, being that step softer. When the fuel load burns off, the sort of delta gets bigger. Everyone's going to be on older tyres, of course, and well, new medium versus 14 lap old hards. You said there's only one winner. I bet he's into the pit lane. Finally, he's coming into the box. And the Williams doesn't get a time penalty for doing anything silly, but why is he going to slot out? I mean, we'll have to keep an eye on. Stav. That's one that is around the gearbox. Billy has gone for softs. I mean, I did think he'd do that. Yellow flag in sector 2 because Alfa Romeo Stewart has spun. That allows Bog through. Billy's got a lot of work to do on the softs. I mean, I'd love to see Billy get up right up to the front, and for all I know, he could do. But most circuits, I would actually say old hards versus brand new softs, Billy would have a chance. But there aren't that much corners to make a difference around this circuit, unfortunately, and once you get there, everyone's got DRS. We'll see how he gets on. We're going to get the old gap to leader up. It's currently 13.3. Of course, a crucial element to the final couple of laps of this race is that Stav Nathaniel Perrin and Billy have no penalties. And that is, for me, the critical point and how this race will be decided. Because at the moment, your finishing result would be Quistro, Stav, Perrin. No, sorry, it would be Stav, Perrin, Quistro. That's how important in a race like this it is to avoid penalties. You saw in real life people almost getting time penalties, people almost getting disqualifications in sort of the F2, F3 races for track limits. So it is, you know, a big issue, and some people are struggling. And actually, to be fair, across the whole field, they've done pretty well, the D3 drivers. But Billy, he set his personal best in the first sector, that gap down to 12.9. We'll use that as our reference, because I forgot what I said earlier. It was a 13 something. It's now 13 flat, but this could be our fast out of the race, so he'd be looking for at least that bonus point, if it's there for him. But this is where all the time should be. Brand new set of boots, he'll be taking full advantage of this. You would have thought 12.17, 12.16. And he finds 12.5. Not quite. Got back up to 12.7. So Billy's gone purple in the middle sector though. We've got a helping hand of DRS on the next straight. 2 straights, I reckon. What's the lap time looking like for Billy? As they cross the line, he goes 1 minute 7.4, a second better than anything he has done in this race. So finding pace on the softs, but I don't think enough. As we head up towards turn number 3, Stewart, and that is Alfa Romeo Stewart, gets 3 seconds about its end of his race time. He is in a right battle with Bog at the moment. Another battle is Hammer versus SMB. SMB sneaks around the inside at turn 6. And the Ferrari is now P15. Billy makes a nice move down the inside, and Ferrari Hammer, not Ferrari Stewart, Ferrari Hammer is off and taking a rather adventurous route, it must be said. We can see him there in the background and enjoying himself in the gravel. Billy would love a safety car right now. How can you get a 10-second penalty for that? I do not know. He's done 28 laps on the hards, bless him. Going to be sick to death of those tyres. Fox Blue ahead of Bog. Done and dusted. Billy says fast out of the race. It's a 6.9. The gap is now 11.6 seconds. It's going to be too much, unfortunately, in my professional opinion, to make that up. And I think he'll just finish P6. Unfortunately, for me, just not getting the strategy right today. Stayed out on those. Should have gone for mediums rather than hards. Just stayed out a little too long. And I'm talking probably 8 laps too long. Just lost so much time at the end compared to the others around him. A second and a bit of a lap at points. But unfortunately, you live and you learn. Nevertheless, as they head to start lap 33, Stav within 6 tenths. He's got DRS, and I don't think he's in a party, in sort of a team radio channel, if you like, with Dunn, but Dunn recognises what's going on here, and he'll be almost acting as a bit of a rear gunner, I reckon, for his teammate. There'll be no silly moves. Again, they've proved me wrong already after Tower this evening. He looks like he got a really good run, but just holding back at the moment, not going for anything silly, which is always good to see. And as they head down towards turn number 4 on lap 33, Billy's still closing the gap. Yellow flag in sector 2. They've got to be careful here because there's an Aston Martin round the corner. The Aston Martin behaves himself though, and that's SMB, who drops down to P15, unfortunately for him, and he can get going once again. Dunn, oh, we were on board with him when it happened. Dunn just got a little bit too wide once more, and he's picked up another time penalty. That will surely drop him to finish P5, I think, in this race. And unless Billy can really close the gap, he could be looking at P6 now. So if I'm yellow flag, oh, it's the SMB spun again. Once the tyres are hot, it's so hard to cool them down, and Stewart and Fox Blue are having an almighty duel. Who can get the better of the track? Sure, looks like it was Stewart. Fox Blue not getting away how he would have wanted to. Yeah, if I'm done at this point, you've just got to act as a bit of a rear gunner. SMB's out. Oh, we could have a right twist in the tail. Mikey's had a big moment. I'm not really sure. The leaders will be absolutely petrified with what's going on now. Cars going off here, there and everywhere. You've got yellow flags here, there and everywhere. Cars retiring down at turn 9. Staff just wants a nice comfortable end to this race. Quistro's going to be doing his absolute best to try and break away, but with 2.5 laps left to go, you can't bet against Stav at this point. He won last season here in D2. He's a proven winner. You know, full stop at that point. I think he's got the most race wins in DTR. Correct me if I'm wrong. The gap is 0.8 of a second. He can't lose more than 2.2 seconds now. Can Stravulis. As they head up into turn number 1. Billy gets 3 seconds. That's not going to help his charge at all, and his charge has kind of stalled, unfortunately. I think it might be P6 for him here this evening. Something that is crucial. How many seconds has Quistro got? Let's have a quick look at the actual penalties themselves. Just 3 seconds. So, for me, the big kind of race at the moment is actually between Perrin and Quistro. Perrin's dropped off the back of the top 4 a little bit here. He's lost DRS, and he's now 6 tenths, 5 tenths, 4 tenths behind Quistro once penalties are applied. Quistro needs to do his best not to get any penalties. He could still get P2 here in this race. At the moment, I think it's going to look like Stav, Quistro, and then Perrin, but he needs to be really, really careful because he could lose out on a podium here. We're on to the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. We're about to start the final lap of the Grand Prix, and I'm in a rogue move. Going to follow what I really hope I don't jinx this as Foxblue and Stewart. Anyway, Foxblue goes down the inside for P11. He can make the move sticky ears, but Stewart looking for a switchback, couldn't find it, and Foxblue moved himself up into P11. I'm going to follow the race leader, the effective race leader for the final lap of this. I really hope I don't jinx this. Bit of a commentator's curse. Will Stav want to win this on track, or is he happy just to sit behind? To get very, very close, but nothing doing at the moment. Will he use that overtake mode? Yellow flag in sector 2. There's a Red Bull off to the side. Bob keeping out of the way very nicely indeed. Head down towards turn number 4. Nothing doing at the moment. Couple corners left to negotiate. It's the middle sector of this lap. It's been 30. We've had 12 laps. We've had an 18-minute qualifying session. It's then been a 12-lap sprint race. If you had your money on this being the top 3, fair play, because it's been chaos left, right, front and centre in the sprint race, in the main race. But he's negotiated all. We said all evening, he's a racer, not a qualifier, and he's proving it here once again. It's back-to-back wins in the Red Bull Ring. It's back-to-back wins in Austria for Stav. He's negotiated the sprint race. He's negotiated the main race. Stav takes the race lead. Quistro P2. Where can Perrin slot in the order? He takes the final podium spot in 3rd place. Billy, well, I think he had great pace then. You've got to give him credit, but he just got the strategy wrong, unfortunately. It's P6 for him. Patrick's your fastest qualifier, but he finishes P7. Rancy, his teammate, comes in 8th. So it's a decent points all for McLaren, but not compared to the likes of Williams or AlphaTauri, who will be your sort of team's champion, if you like, this evening. Then it's Riker. Stewart rounds out the top 10, and I think Foxblue may be your final finisher. No, he's not. It's going to be Stewart. Alfa Romeo Stewart. But Foxblue rounds the final corner onto the pit straight, and he will take the final points. And he went to the final points, unfortunately. P11 for him, just missing out. But it's Stav who takes the race lead. And I can't not say there's a bit of bias going on. A former teammate of mine, it is good to see a race victory, and well, as some of you may know, the commentators are now the ones that sort of pick the driver of the day nominations, and how can you not give it to Stav? He's negotiated both the sprint race and the main race excellently. He's got the strategy on point. He kept it clean with penalties, and on a track like this, it's difficult to do. His teammate gets driver of the day for most positions gained, but for me, it's got to go to Stav. I think there's been some great racecraft in there, some great sort of tactical awareness, and how do I say it, sort of just intelligent racing. I don't know, it's 2 weeks in a row of me giving it to the person who's crossed the line first, but how can you not? I think in a race that is chaotic, keeping a cool head, especially when the battle between the top 6, 7 was so close and separated by seconds at times. We saw in the sprint race, I mean, the gaps, Stav came podium in the sprint race. Definitely the most points over him. It's double podium. It's a third and a win. When he started, something like 8th, 9th, off the top of my head. And lost places at both race starts. Made up the places by being clever, for me. So, he takes my driver of the day. The Greek god around this circuit as he picks up 31 points this evening. Quistro 21, 17 for both Billy and Axel. So actually a really good day for Williams, it must be said. But Stav takes your race win here this evening. It's been a long one, so we will say goodbye very shortly. But thank you everybody for tuning in. I thought apologies for the delay at the end of the sprint race. We managed to sort of rectify it, if you like, and we saw the end of that. But I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Stav is your race winner here this evening. Quistro takes second. Axel Ritz is third in the Williams, and it's his teammates Billy in fourth for points overall. I've just realised this is not the overall results in the race, it's the weekend results, and we'll get the race results up very quickly because it's Stav from Quistro from Perrin. He's finished on the podium every race. It's first, third, leading the championship, and well, once again, it's another racer. I mean, it's the racers that are doing well. That's the point I'm going to leave on. So we'll see you all next week.